Justin Trudeau came to Edmonton on Wednesday and announced $175 million in federal grants to help build housing over the next 3 years. Probably about 5,200 units of housing. That works out to somewhere over $30,000 a unit. That might sound like a lot. It might sound like a lot of housing units. It might sound like a lot of money. But it's probably not going to lead to too much new housing, and therefore it's not going to bring down the price of housing. But the bigger problem with Trudeau's visit was he didn't bother to tell the provincial government he was coming. Now, prime ministers and cabinet ministers normally tell their provincial counterparts when they're coming to a city in their province to make an announcement. It's not a legal requirement. This is, after all, their country too. But it's generally considered a courtesy that the senior government tell the provincial governments that they're on their way. Trudeau didn't do that. Danielle Smith didn't know he was going to be here until after he'd made his announcement. But despite the fact he didn't have time to meet with Smith, and his office told her that, he did find 30 minutes to sit down with a very progressive blogger here in Edmonton, a guy named Ryan Jesperson, good journalist, and have a conversation for 30 minutes. And it's that conversation, though, that's landed Trudeau in the greatest amount of trouble. He was arrogant, he was dismissive, he was contemptuous of Albertans, all while he was doing that smiley face that he does, that insincere, oh, I'm just trying to be working in your best interests face that he has. He said Albertans were being fooled by their own government, by the oil industry, into not supporting his great green initiatives, like zero emissions power grids and EV mandates. All have to buy electric vehicles by 2035. These are all fantastic ideas. They are the way to the future, he said. And Albertans are not getting behind them, so they're going to be left behind economically in the future because, oil is a commodity that's quickly becoming unprofitable. He actually said that. Oil is becoming unprofitable. Well, the oil industry is still the largest economic engine in the country. The reason Alberta is receiving 50,000 or more new Canadians every year, people from other provinces and people from outside the country, is that this is where the most economic activity is. It's also a place where among the lowest housing prices are. So real events are contrary to what Trudeau said. The other thing that's really contrary to what Trudeau said is the International Energy Agency has said that in 2024, oil demand will go up by 1 million barrels a day from 2023. And oil demand should continue to rise till about 2040, perhaps even 2050. So oil maybe eventually becomes unprofitable, but not in the working lifetime of most Albertans. So if you have to put your horse, hitch it to a wagon, which one are you going to hitch it to? You're going to hitch it to oil and gas, not to the Prime Minister's green fantasies. But there he was saying we are being fooled. We are being duped. We don't know what's best for us. And we should listen to him because he actually said this, had our true best interests at heart more so than our own government or the oil and gas industry. The level of contemptuousness, the level of, hey, you hicks are too dumb to know what you're doing. You should listen to me. I'm so smart and I have your best interest at heart, was gagging. That is not the way you come to a province and hope you're going to win people over. That visit was for the consumption of people in Montreal, Toronto, maybe Vancouver, who might still vote Liberal. And they could say, oh, look at that great evangelist for the environment. He's going to that Hickville in Edmonton there and telling them what to do. Isn't that fabulous? It might work in Toronto. It might work in Montreal. But it certainly didn't work here. For Postmedia, I'm Lorne Gunter.